You may remember a moment when the world felt overwhelming, a room too bright, a conversation too fast, a sound too sharp. Perhaps you instinctively flinched or retreated slightly, noticing how your body braced itself against the tide of stimulus. Your chest may have tightened, your thoughts scattered, or a wave of unease washed over you. In that instant, you felt something others seemed to navigate effortlessly. The subtle, exhausting friction between your inner sensitivity and a world that moves loudly, insistently, and without pause. It is often in these quiet, unnoticed spaces that sensitivity becomes apparent. Perhaps you notice it in the hum of a crowded street, the chatter of a busy office, the overlapping voices of friends or colleagues. You feel acutely, noticing nuances, contradictions, and undercurrents that others overlook. Your mind processes more, registers more, and remembers more. There is richness in this awareness, yet there is also fatigue, a quiet pull toward retreat, a soft longing for stillness. Your body remembers it first. Shoulders tense, jaw tight, stomach contracts. There is a rhythm of anticipation and protection, a subtle readiness for overstimulation. You may catch yourself withdrawing from noise or conversation without thinking, almost instinctively, seeking spaces where your senses are not overwhelmed. This is not avoidance in a simplistic sense. It is adaptation, a learned rhythm for living in a world that often moves too quickly, too loudly, for minds tuned to detail and depth. You may notice it in relationships. Perhaps you are the one who notices when someone's tone shifts, when a friend's glance carries a story unspoken, when a crowd's energy turns. You may sense discord or tension before it fully surfaces. These insights come naturally, effortlessly, yet they can weigh heavily. You might feel an unspoken responsibility to adjust, to mediate, to anticipate discomfort before it arises. The effort is subtle but constant, and it leaves traces. Fatigue, a quiet sense of being out of sync, a soft ache of having to navigate more than is apparent to others. And there is a particular kind of isolation in this sensitivity. It is not dramatic loneliness, but the quiet recognition that your experience of the world differs. Others may laugh easily in spaces that feel sharp or loud to you. They may move through intensity that you perceive as overwhelming. You do not seek to be separate, yet the very structure of your perception requires careful packing, strategic engagement, and moments of retreat. This is neither weakness nor flaw. It is coherence with the way your mind and body experience stimuli. Sometimes this sensitivity shows up as overthinking. You replay interactions, noticing small gestures or words that others dismiss. You anticipate consequences, subtle dynamics, and emotional undercurrents that may escape notice. The mind moves quickly, scanning and mapping more than others realize. It is insightful, discerning, and attentive, yet this same depth can lead to mental fatigue. Awareness itself becomes a burden, and you may long for a space where the world's noise is filtered, where clarity and calm can prevail. Perhaps you notice it in the way you experience emotions. Joy can be vivid, sorrow intense, and anxiety amplified. These experiences are not disproportionate in themselves. They are coherent with heightened attunement to nuance and detail. Yet in a loud, fast-paced environment, the intensity may feel amplified by comparison, leaving you exhausted, overstimulated, and yearning for moments of stillness. You are learning, often unconsciously, how to manage these experiences with subtlety, restraint, and care. And there is a tension here that is quiet but persistent. You may crave connection, yet seek retreat. You may want engagement, yet require packing. You notice subtleties others overlook, yet carry a sense of invisibility, not from lack of presence, but from difference in perception. Your inner rhythm diverges from the external tempo, creating a sense of friction that is subtle, steady, and familiar. Awareness of this pattern is often the first step toward relief. Not dramatic relief, not sweeping change, but gentle understanding. You begin to see that sensitivity is not a flaw. It is coherence with your own perceptual and emotional architecture, shaped by early experiences and natural tendencies. Your awareness, your attunement, your responsiveness to subtlety, these are strengths, even as they require care, packing, and recognition of limits. Reflection allows you to notice patterns without judgment. You may observe moments when overstimulation arises, when fatigue follows engagement, or when quiet withdrawal is necessary. Awareness alone provides grounding. You may allow yourself to inhabit these experiences gently, noticing sensations in your body, rhythms in your mind, and tendencies in your behavior. Observation becomes its own form of care, providing subtle reassurance that your experience is valid. There is also a kind of strength in understanding your sensitivity. You may recognize how it enables empathy, attentiveness, and insight. You may notice the subtle ways you respond to others' emotions, the nuances you perceive in social dynamics, and the depth of reflection that comes naturally. These capacities are coherent with your early adaptations and natural perceptual style. Awareness allows appreciation. Reflection allows patience. Recognition allows grounding. Sometimes this sensitivity leads to self-imposed limits, often unconsciously. You may avoid loud gatherings, crowded spaces, or overstimulating environments not out of fear, but from recognition of your boundaries. You may move cautiously through social landscapes, choosing moments of engagement carefully. These choices are not avoidance. They are coherence with your rhythm, a protective and practical alignment with your capacity for stimulation and reflection. You may notice subtle relief in allowing small, intentional adjustments. Perhaps you step outside for a few moments, find a quiet corner, or pause before engaging in conversation. These acts, though minor, create space for awareness to operate without fatigue. You may notice how these adjustments allow you to inhabit social spaces with steadiness, rather than retreating fully or being overwhelmed. Awareness provides choice. Reflection provides perspective. Recognition provides subtle comfort. And there is quiet hope in this understanding. You may notice that your sensitivity allows meaningful observation, discernment, and empathy. You may acknowledge that your tendencies are coherent with your own inner architecture. Awareness offers recognition of limits, reflection allows packing, and subtle adjustments allow engagement without exhaustion. In these small, intentional moments, you may notice the world shifting to accommodate, or at least harmonize, with your rhythm. There is also self-compassion here. You may allow yourself to feel fully, to notice intensity without judgment, and to inhabit quiet spaces without shame. Sensitivity is coherence, not deficiency. Awareness gives you choice. Reflection allows grounding. Recognition offers reassurance. And in inhabiting your world with patience and care, you discover a steady, quiet comfort. Your inner experience is valid, your rhythm is coherent, and your presence is meaningful, even when the world is loud. Finally, there is grounding in the subtle interplay of awareness, reflection, and recognition. You may allow emotions to exist without immediate need for expression. You may notice fatigue without shame. You may engage without losing coherence and retreat without fear. Awareness, reflection, and recognition operate together, providing a gentle scaffold for inhabiting a world that is intense, fast, and often overwhelming. In the end, you are neither fragile nor deficient. You are attuned, sensitive, and deeply perceptive. Your mind and body remember patterns, respond to stimulus, and inhabit life with coherence. Awareness gives clarity. Reflection gives patience. Recognition gives comfort. And in this quiet presence, you may finally feel aligned, sensitive, observant, and fully capable of inhabiting the world, even when it moves loudly around you.